Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Elite City Podcast. Depending on when you're listening to this, I hope that you enjoyed Taylor Swift's new album. Anyway, we've been gone for a little while, but we're back, and I'm here with Jay and Biddy. Hello, Jay and Biddy.
Hi.
Hello.
Very enthusiastic as always. We haven't talked in a little while, so there's a little bit of housekeeping that we should do before we actually start the episode. First of all, congratulations to Biddy for winning the All Out prediction contest. She wouldn't stop talking about it since it happened, so congratulations to you. Nice job, Biddy.
Thank you once again. I'm champion. How many of those have I won, actually? I think I've won every single one.
No, I think you I think you tied once.
Oh,
I think you tied with me once.
But yeah, otherwise, in how many years? I win every single one.
Biddy knows all.
And she would not stop talking about it. I sat beside her during All Out, and she would not stop talking about it. It was great.
To be fair, I actually forgot about it and did not remember it until you brought it up. I'm like, oh yeah, right. Yeah, duh.
So there's that.
I know.
Second of all, speaking of All Out, very important to all of us. We haven't had a podcast since All Out, so that's why we're bringing this up now. Since we last had an episode, Pac has returned, and he's wearing clothes, and he's dry, and he cut his hair.
Don't like it.
How do we feel about this?
I don't like it at all.
Is it the clothes? Is it the hair? What's the problem?
It's all of it. He's not wet. He's not like sopping wet and naked while everybody else is wearing clothes. It's weird.
He also seems to like just come out of a regular, and he's not like standing in like. Remember when he used to just stand in the tunnel and like look angry? He doesn't do that. He's a different person. I don't know what happened.
He's Ben now. He's not Pac anymore. He's his government name.
That episode of what was it? What was that show? Table for Three. Do you see that? Like years and years ago. When he was on with, I forget who he was on with.
I don't think I saw that one with him. I saw him on the ride along.
No, he was on Table for Three with like two other NXT, like original NXT guys. I forget who they were, but he was himself, like he was a human. So he had like glasses on and his hair tied back, and like it was bizarre.
That's how he always was for the video game thing that they did. With the Fashion Police guys.
Yeah,
he was always like in a soccer kit, and he'd have his hair tied back and his glasses on. I vaguely remember there was a ride along, and they were at the drive-through somewhere, and they're like, "Oh, hey, look, there's he was there," and Bailey jumps out of the car, and he's like, "Fuck right along." Sorry, he beat me out. But yeah, it's like I remember that so distinctly.
What was his WWE name?
Neville.
Adrian Neville at first, yeah, and then just Neville.
Yeah.
Side note, Neville Island in Pittsburgh is like a toxic wasteland.
Well, then there's that.
Isn't that also where the Colonials play hockey?
Yes, RMU put a lot of stuff of their things.
Wait, I
there.
thought it was a toxic wasteland. Why does it have a hockey arena?
Well, and there's
also RMU. It's RMU, so I mean it's a toxic waste dump.
I don't know what that means. I'm a Canadian.
Also, there's an incredible old school roller rink there that's been around since 1948 called Neville Island Roller Drome.
Well, there you go. Now we've all learned something.
Yeah. Anyway,
that's very nice.
Rick.
Anyway, Pac should be wet and have a hair in his face and be scowling in a tunnel somewhere.
Yeah, just like standing there, like he's standing there menacingly. Like
he shouldn't just be like a regular guy with like cut like trimmed hair and
right.
I'm okay with his haircut, but him being clothed and not moist, that's more like the haircut. I get it.
That was my favorite thing about early Death Riders is they were like choking people out with plastic bags and like. Driving in a pickup truck, and they were all wearing like white t-shirts, jeans, or black pants, and then he was in wrestling gear like the entire time, like in the desert.
Stand there. Right. He didn't do anything. He'd just stand there.
It was great.
Just moist and naked and angry,
and the rest of them were just in like regular clothes, just like existing.
Yeah,
it's great.
I mean, I get it. I wish I could be naked and moist and angry.
People would like to look at me like that.
You can be. There's nothing stopping you.
Well, listen,
be who you want to be.
Bless his heart. At least my head doesn't look like a Cadillac driving down the highway with its doors wide open.
Hey, he would murder us all in a minute if he could.
Sorry, Pac. Your ears are weird.
So 6 years of AEW Dynamite, 6 years of Dynamite, yeah. Kind of 6 years of AEW, even though it existed a little bit before that, but 6 years. We're going to talk a little bit about that coming up, our favorite moments in the last 6 years of Dynamite, but just we're not going to recap the whole show because a lot of stuff happened, and some of us may not have watched it. I don't know who, not me.
You know
but
what, Rick? May I interject?
Yes.
I have things to do. I actually had to do work because my assistant is in Japan. So I
Ooh,
didn't
because
have
my
time.
assistant is in
Oh,
Japan.
I have an assistant.
Ooh, my assistant is away and I'm too busy. I had to soil my own hands with this work.
I had to do work. And I was tired.
So
Anyway.
6 years of Dynamite. Main story of Dynamite. Andrade is back. What do we think
Yep.
about this? Happy, upset, not
I
upset,
mean,
don't care.
I think it's kind of okay. It's happening. I don't know. I mean, I think in both companies, I've enjoyed him in both. I think he's a great wrestler, but it's not like, oh yeah, Andrade is back. Like, it's just like, okay, it's a thing that's happening.
Yeah, he's a very good wrestler. I want to see him wrestle Kenny because I think that'll be really good.
Yeah.
But he hasn't really found a good role in either company.
Mm-mm.
He's kind of just a guy who's there, and he's a good wrestler, and he's a cool looking guy. He has awesome hair, but he's like just a guy.
A guy. He's just a
But
guy.
I think this is speculation, of course, on my part. I think he actually likes it better in AEW. I think the reason he went back to WWE was primarily to deal with his marriage and try to fix his marriage and try to be around his then wife more often, and that didn't work out. And I do feel like, based on the speed that he came back to AEW, I think he prefers it there, and I think they like him there.
Yeah.
And they were kind of under the understanding that, like, oh, he was going back to be with his wife.
Probably for the best too that they're separate. You know, I don't think it ended well. Not that it ever does in a marriage that ends, but I don't think it ended well. Anyway.
No, it doesn't seem like it did. I don't want to speculate on that either.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, that's not our business. But anyway.
But he joined the Don Callis family. And the Don Callis family is like everybody now.
It's
I looked it up.
It's a sausage party.
It is. Okay, well, before we name I was going to name everybody, but yeah, it is. Why are there no women in this family?
Well, I mean, there's a lot we could get unpacked there.
Well,
but
yeah, I don't think anybody wants to listen to that.
No.
So the members of the Don Callis family, some are injured. Injured Brian Cage, Mark Davis, Wardlow. I feel bad for Wardlow. He was injured.
Yeah.
He was injured for so long. He came back. They put him in the Don Callis family.
one show and then was
and then immediately injured again. I feel bad for him.
That guy has Cleveland energy, that's for sure.
Pac had kind of the same thing for a while going for him. He was like injured all the time, but Wardlow's been
I think Wardlow's is worse.
I think so too.
Cleveland energy.
But
tuck that away for future use.
Am I wrong? Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Nope.
Now we've also got joined yesterday El Clone, who's the clone of Hologram, who I believe I don't know anything about him, but I believe he's a well-known luchador wrestler. So the internet has told me to be excited for this. So I'm going to believe them for now. We also have Hechicero, Rocky Romero, Lance Archer, Trent, Josh Alexander, Okada, Kyle Fletcher, Takeshita, and now Andrade. The top half of that is awesome. Andrade, Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, Okada, Josh Alexander.
Yeah, I mean, like Okada doesn't even need to be in a stable. He's freaking Okada.
But like those 5, 6 guys, Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, Okada, Josh Alexander, Andrade, that's an awesome faction. Like that's a killer faction.
Am I the only one?
Having all the others is a little much.
Am I the only one that sees Josh Alexander like the name, and I just in my brain I see George Costanza?
It's not a great wrestling name.
No,
I'm not all about WWE changing people's names, but like Josh Alexander just sounds like a guy.
He's just a guy. It's
Josh Alexander works in your office like a couple desks down, and
Summer of Josh
uses Excel spreadsheets. Like that's Josh Alexander
with his little wrestling ear pads on.
So I guess I saw people on Reddit kind of discussing this, how like, the top half of the faction's great and the bottom half is just a bunch of guys, right? Like Kentracero is good. He's a
Yeah.
good wrestler. But the rest of, Trent, Lance Archer, no offense to any of them, they're all good wrestlers, but Trent, Lance Archer, Rocky Romero, Brian Cage, Mark Davis, they're
just
not
guys.
like, they're just guys, right? And I guess the way you can look at it is it's like a mob family, right? There's like the head of the mob and then all his like close associates, and then they have a bunch of like guys who like they run out and do the jobs, right? If they get shot, oh well, right? Like those are the guys. So maybe that's how, I don't know. Do you think it's too big? Is too many people in this?
I think so. I mean, and I think I don't know, but what do you do with this? Like, where does this go? Having all these people in the Don Callis family, like, where do they go with this? What is, you know what I mean? Like, what's the end game of this?
Yeah, I think Takeshita leaves because he has the thing with Okada where they're like at each other. So I feel like
yeah,
Takeshita
that's
leaves, but
Yeah, but that's not what I mean. I mean,
Right.
like, what does this like? We're building up this mob kind of thing for what? What's the end goal?
I thought it was going to be like a Bobby Heenan in the 80s sort of thing where he managed a whole bunch of people, but they weren't really associated. Like he was just their manager, but they weren't like buddies. He just managed a bunch of people. But now it seems like it's not. Like it does seem like they're all
Like
one
a stable. Yeah.
stable. But yeah, I don't know what they're going to like. There's too many of them.
May I riff for a minute?
Yes.
Sure.
I think Takeshita's obviously out. He's going babyface. I think it's kind of leaving Don Callis with all these men that have joined. It's going to be like a gauntlet for Takeshita to fight through.
I was thinking that, but isn't that too many people? Like when it's a gauntlet, it's usually like 4 or 5 people.
Well,
Is he gonna fight 10 people?
I don't think it's going to be 10. I mean, to be fair, and nothing against the lower dudes on the Don Callis family, but it's going to be like the top 5 or 8.
Yeah.
So he's going to fight through like 5 or 8 of them, and that's
and I mean Don Callis,
that's what they're setting up for.
Don Callis has gotten people over, right? Like Kyle Fletcher's over on his own.
Oh,
But Don Callis has helped. Like him being with Don Callis has helped. I didn't think that Takeshita could work as a heel because he's just so damn lovable. But like he worked probably because of Don Callis, right? Like it wouldn't have worked that well without. So it has worked, but like they're not going to push, no offense again, they're not going to push Rocky Romero or Trent to like main event level guys. That's not happening. And they're fine as like lower card guys. Like you need that. But
well, yeah,
I don't know.
You need a couple squash matches here and there.
Yeah, I guess it is going to be like before you have to get to Kyle Fletcher, you have to face these guys,
right?
Or before you get to Okada, and like the first time you face Rocky Romero or Trent or Lance Archer, and like it's not that big of a challenge. And then next you have to face Josh Alexander, and that's a bit more of a challenge. And then that makes sense.
They're setting up a gauntlet for Takeshita.
Takeshita's so awesome.
This is.
Takeshita's awesome. I love him.
Incredible. Yeah. Well,
that's Biddy. Who was the other guy in that 3-way match at All Out?
Mascara.
Yeah, he ruled.
Oh my God. We were like, who's this? Why are they doing all right? And he stole the show.
Yeah, that match was awesome.
He stole the show. I know I looked at you and I was like, that was a star-making match. Like,
yeah. And they're going to do Okada versus Takeshita probably several times.
Yeah.
And they're all going to be awesome.
Well, that's somebody asked me what was your favorite match at All Out? And I said Takeshita, Okada, and I can't remember Dorada Mascara or Mascara Dorada.
Mascara. I think it's Mascara Dorada. I don't know.
Yeah, I apologize. I can't remember the sequence of his name, but
I'm Canadian, so I don't know Spanish pronunciation. That's fine. So but that match, I agree with you. That was probably Mascara Dorada is what it is.
Okay.
But yeah, that match was awesome.
It was amazing.
Speaking of amazing yet disappointing, Tony Storm returned on Dynamite for first appearance since losing the title to Chris Statlander, which you predicted it. I wouldn't have picked Statlander to win that match.
I know. I got it.
But I love Statlander. I just didn't think she'd win the match. But Toni Storm returned, and the crowd chanted her, and it enraged me.
Well,
because she's Toni Storm.
Right. And well, I mean, Florida is gonna Florida, I guess.
Like you do that chant at someone who's boring.
Just don't do it.
Like it sucks.
Yeah,
it sucks
it's
to begin
necessary.
with. I hate it anyway. Right.
Just don't be a jag.
It should have died 20
so hard?
It should have died 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But if it's going to continue, it's not at Toni Storm. It's at someone who bores you.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, and it was a good promo. Like, it's always a good promo. It's Toni Storm. Like, she's good at it every single time. So, like, the fact that the crowd decided, oh, at this point, we're going to do this obnoxious, annoying thing and wreck the promo when it's Toni Storm. I don't know. That upset me because she's so good.
Florida man's gonna Florida man is all I have to say.
Oh, that burned his ass.
Hey, well, this is going to be my transition into 6 years of Dynamite memories, and I'm not even going to name a particular memory for this part. The rise of Toni Storm has been probably one of the best parts of Dynamite in the last 3 years.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Like that's been unbelievable. It's like everything she's done from who she was when she got here to who she is now. Like I was trying to think of a particular moment that I wanted to add. I mean, her and Mariah May, obviously, anything that happened with that was great. But she's just like, I don't know, she's so good at so many things. She's such a good character, such good promos. Like, and if AEW didn't exist, where all the people who, get mad that AEW exists, if there's no AEW, there's no Toni Storm right now. There's no Swerve as he is right now.
Yeah.
Like those people would not succeed. They were in WWE and they weren't this. So yeah, Toni Storm is amazing. She did that promo on a balcony. I forget where it was. I think Chicago, when they were in the weird little place. Anyway, she did a promo on a balcony where she was just like, I'm forever timeless, and looking out at a crowd that didn't exist. Such a great promo. She's the best. I can watch her do anything.
She's so good because she's so clever with like her play on words all the time, or like the little nicknames she comes up with, like Slop Tarts. And I mean, just it's so clever, and it feels like it's so just off on the wing, like as she does it, It's just she's so quick.
She is also so unapologetically bi.
Yeah, she's really baiting.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's great. I love it. Like representation, yeah.
And
my favorite is when she'll do things like, I'm going to partner up with my very good friend Mina Shirakawa, and then I love it. It's great.
Oh yeah.
And yesterday she wrestled in like pants and a blouse. It was awesome. She just wore her like street clothes to do the match. She's the best. And I want to see what she does without a belt, because she didn't have the belt. Like, she lost it before, but then she did the whole where she forgot who she was and she went back to, old Toni Storm.
Well,
she hasn't really been timeless Toni Storm without a belt.
And speaking of our favorite Dynamite thing, what kicked this all off was when she lost the belt the first time.
Yes.
And I was actually there in LA for that Dynamite where she did the I'm pretty sure it was then where she was with the Outcast.
Yeah.
But then she was kind of losing it and was just spraying
spraying the spray paint in the air and just
in the air and laughing. Yeah, yeah, that's what set this all off. That was the beginning of this.
Well, we haven't seen her be timeless without the title, really.
Right.
So is she
We've
gonna
had a little bit, but
not very long. Is she gonna fly off the handle again, or is she gonna be different this time?
Well, and she seems to be moving through. She went from the 20s to the 30s to the 40s. I think she's in the 50s now.
Yeah.
So
she's doing the WandaVision thing.
I don't know what that is, but in the 50s, all the housewives were on benzos and just drugged out of their minds and stuff.
Right.
So
yeah, I want to see her do like a Betty Draper from Mad Men. That would be good. How she was like, pretending to be friendly and nice to everyone, but deep down she was like, popping pills. That would be fun. Other Dynamite memories. Is there anything else? 6 years of Dynamite, something you must remember.
For me, it's just, I think, still the first one I went to in Pittsburgh at the Pete. And just because I had seen some of those guys, like Kenny, especially, because I mean, Kenny is one of the best, if not the best in the world at wrestling. He just is. And I had seen what he did on, New Japan and the other guys, and just kind of like, the Bucks had been doing the Elite for so long, and just it was so cool to be there. And then even like that show too had the tag tournament, and I got to see the Lucha Brothers, which I never thought in a million years I would get to see them wrestle in person, like with my own eyes. And that was probably like the coolest thing, just to see them, because they're like legends, like bucket list kind of stuff.
Can someone tell WWE that they're a tag team?
Yeah,
they haven't.
really.
They won't tag yet.
Well, we all know what happens, But that was cool. I mean, that was kind of ties into something else you have here. I mean, the place popped really hard for Britt because, that was like the whole big thing as a local, and they had towels and everything. Like, it was very cool. I mean, the Pete's not that big, but it's also not a small venue either. And it felt so packed that night. It really did.
Well, now that you mentioned Britt, I think we're all in agreement on this. Because she didn't show up in Pittsburgh, is she done?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
I think if she was ever going to come back, it would be that.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing. I think when AEW is just like first starting out 6 years ago with Dynamite and everything, I think Britt was really like detrimental. Like, she was a very important piece of the women's division, because her name was already out there because of the very first, was that All Out that she wrestled?
All in.
I mean, so you're All In. I'm sorry. I mean, like, so she was kind of like a really important cornerstone of getting a women's division together. She was important. She was part of that. But I think now it's really evolved, and you've got so many faces and so many characters and cool little personalities that it just has grown, and it's going to continue to grow. And I think they can do a lot of really cool stuff with it.
She was always a good character. Like, I liked her character. She was a good character. She cut a good promo. Not so much in recent years. Like, when at her hottest, she was a good character.
Yeah.
Well, she
kind of fell off after.
She got injured, and she kept it going. And again, during the pandemic, like, she was in a wheelchair because she messed her knee up, but
she entirely got over just on her like gimmick. Yeah.
Her and Rebel Reba.
What's her actual name? Is it Rebel or Reba? I don't remember.
I think it's Reba, but but anyway, like, just she was able to keep up all that shit.
Yeah.
And she like got over just on like being there in a wheel and like cutting a promo. Yeah.
Right. Like, and that was needed during those early days.
Yeah.
Especially when there was no one else in the building.
Unfortunately, but things moved on. She's not the best wrestler, and the women's division like exponentially like improved, and she was left behind.
Yeah, wrestling wise, she's very far behind anyone else.
Like I said, I think she was so important in the cornerstone in those founding first year or so of Dynamite and all that. I mean, she was a huge part of it, and she brought a lot of viewers to the company. But look at how much it has grown since, and I think it's great now. And it's unfortunate that Britt never was kept up with it. Unfortunately, she was injured and such. But it's not the same situation. It's not identical, but it does sort of remind me of when Saraya or Paige at the time. She was like the only kind of women, maybe her and Natalya were like the only like wrestlers in WWE. Like, they were the only ones who went out and wrestled. Maybe AJ Lee, who like wrestled and had matches, and the rest were like, divas. And then now WWE, or in recent years, the last few years, they have wrestlers there. And she never got to. She kind of started that, and then never got to experience it. And Britt's kind of the same. She started it in AEW and then never really got to experience it where it is now. At the peak.
At the peak where it is now. And I mean, I'm not saying she doesn't have a place in AEW. If she came back and she was, in good spirits and good health and focused, I think she could definitely have a role in the women's division, but she's not Tony. She's not Mercedes. She's not Jamie Hayter even.
Well,
She's
and
not
that's
like,
the thing. She needs to learn to evolve. Like she's a fantastic talker. She can talk. That's what, if I were her, I would evolve from being, a wrestler. If you need to wrestle here and there, great, she can do it. But she's got the mouth. Use your mouth. Use that to, like she could be the mouth for people.
I do think even in
that.
AEW, like AEW is very, high work rate wrestling, but I think there is roles for people who are just really good talkers and can handle themselves in the ring. They don't have to be the greatest of all wrestlers, but like she can handle herself in the ring. She could wrestle in a match with Toni Storm and it would be good. And you could say that would be primarily due to Toni Storm, but like the hype for the match, the build up for the match, the promos for the match, like she could do it. I just think that her exceptional talent is talking. So use that, take that, be a manager, be like the be the manager, be a manager. And I do think that whatever personal thing she has with whoever she has it with has soured everybody on her, and it's probably because of that it's not like we have no room for you in the roster.
Probably,
I think it's a personality thing. It
There's
seems
definitely
I don't know what it is, but it seems like it's something.
There's some drama there.
Well, speaking of drama, before we go back to a few more Dynamite highlights, they showed a really good 6th anniversary highlight video on Dynamite, recapping the first 6 years. It was like 2-3 minutes long. Really good video. There were very short clips of Cody, CM Punk, and Britt in it. And Punk's was the smallest, obviously, but they had to be there. I think Cody, as one of the founding people of AEW, needed to be there. Britt, same for the women. Like she kind of needed to be in the video. Punk, you can't really ignore because, yes, it fell apart like that, but like he was such a big part of it for a while that like you can't completely ignore him, in my opinion.
No.
But it's interesting, no Jade and no Mariah May. They showed the shot of Toni Storm bleeding after she was hit by the shoe, but they zoomed in, so it was just Toni, no Mariah May, and no Jade at all, which I kind of get no Jade because she was a lot of time on Rampage or later Collision. She wasn't she was on Dynamite, but not that much. But it made me think, I don't know, I guess the only people who left on, quote unquote bad terms and made it to the video are the ones you can't ignore. Like you can't ignore Cody, you can't ignore Punk, you can't ignore Britt, but you can kind of ignore Mariah May. Kind of. I don't know. It was a little odd. I mean, she was important. Like it was a crucial, like she's important to the build of Toni Storm for sure.
Well, my stepdad is the one who showed me wrestling, and he was like, I don't know about AEW, and I was like, let me show you this, and I showed him the Mariah May and Tony thing, and he's like, holy shit, that was awesome.
It is really too bad that she left.
I mean, like on one hand, I get it. Her dream was always WWF.
And she was never going to be hotter than she was at that moment.
Right.
If there's a time to switch and get the most you can get or get the most interest you can get, like that's the time. She left at the right time for her.
Do you think maybe that's why she's not in the video? Like they just were kind of like, do you think maybe not? It's kind of like a haha, like you're not even missed. I don't think that. I just think maybe it's kind of like, well, she always considered herself that AEW is a stepping stone to her dream.
And I guess that would also work for Jade. Jade kind of did the same thing.
Yeah,
right. Exactly. Like from a marketing, advertising, branding point, you don't want to promote
the people who weren't there for you. Yeah.
Well, the people who left and are supposedly going to be a big part of
the other company. Yeah.
Right. You don't want to promote them.
Unless you can't ignore them, like Cody. Like you can't ignore Cody. It would look weird to not put Cody in that video.
Right.
Right. Especially with his whole, I'm going to knock down the
Iron Cross.
Yeah.
The throne.
The throne.
The fact, I don't know if either of you guys know this, he had that throne that he smashed put back together, and it's in his house.
Oh. cool.
Oh, I can't stand him.
He's so
and you know he brought Triple H over now to see the throne and be like, "This is the throne, man," and they like geeked out over how awesome the throne was, and then they,
yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, he's running for political office within the next 10 years. It's
Oh, yeah,
happening.
for sure.
I mean, it's just a given,
for sure.
and I hate that.
Remember when he got his? Here's my Dynamite memory. Remember when he got his stupid neck tattoo?
That was on a pay-per-view, and he got it. And I remember I was still on Twitter at the time, and he got it, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, is that real? That's not like a fake. It was an actual thing that he did."
I remember that.
On his neck.
On his neck.
It's not even straight. It's kind of tilted.
It sucks.
It's so bad.
It's so bad.
I love because no one like he must have told someone like his wife or something, right? Like shouldn't someone have stopped him? Like, what are you doing?
I don't think he told Brandy. I think he just showed up and she was like, "What did you do?"
Can you imagine if your husband walked in one day and had that on their neck?
Imagine trying to smooch that and you're like, oh no.
Cody. That also reminds me of the time when he was trying to get people to like him, even though his whole gimmick, he says now that his gimmick was, I was refusing to turn heel and that made me a heel. I'm like, that's full of it, Cody. That's not what that was.
Easy punching bag.
Not what that was, Cody. You were trying to get everyone to love you. Remember on Dynamite? Remember on Dynamite when he wrestled Andrade and it was a tables match and he was going to do a flaming table, which no one knew at the time, but he came out with all this oil on his back, like jelly on his back for the fire, obviously, but he was just like covered in it and it was visible. And I think he didn't tell like Taz or something that he was going to go through a flaming table, and that's why he had it out, because Taz spent the whole match being like, what is that? Why does he have that on his back? What's happening? Is it tanning oil?
I remember that.
It was great. That and the time he threw his weight belt into the crowd and they threw it back. Good times.
Oh yeah. I think that's probably when he
you can see his face.
That Simpsons episode where like, look, you can watch his
you can picture the moment when his heart rips in half.
That was Cody's moment.
You can see his face when they threw it back. He was probably considering WWE or had an offer from WWE or had talked to them. And when they threw it back, he was just like, well, fine. This is what you want, man.
He's such an easy target to pick on because he's so wishy-washy. Like, he's so wishy-washy.
And the other one we have to talk about this, I wrote down a lot, so I'm not going to talk about all of them. But the other one the other one we have to talk about is Hangman burning down Swerve's house.
Yeah, that was a huge moment.
That was huge. That was great. I loved it.
That was the best. Like,
I love that because that feud had Swerve threaten his baby, and everyone cheered for Swerve. And then Hangman burned down his childhood home, and everyone cheered for Hangman.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
It was amazing.
And yet Cody's out there trying to be super face, getting everyone to love him, and they're just like, nope, not gonna cheer for you. It's great. Yeah. That was good times.
And
go ahead.
Oh, both Swerve and Hangman are incredibly beloved.
Yeah,
now, like. Yeah. I love that Hangman also rails against things right now.
Yes, Hangman is the champion that we need.
Also cares so much about his plants.
I was gonna say, I love that he is literally, his Blue Sky account is literally just plant mom.
Yeah. Well,
I love it's like 90% plants, and then once in a while, I'm gonna punch this guy's face in, and then more plants.
Well, he's like, oh, that stuff happened on HBO Max, so here's the links to go complain about it.
That's right. Yeah.
By the way, I bought like 1 billion plants to plant. I got to plant this shit right before Thanksgiving. God damn it.
Do what Hangman says.
Well, that's,
I'm just going to speed run through my few things while we're here. Sting debuting was awesome. The couple of promos leading up to their match between Punk and MJF, when MJF talked about his like rough childhood and everyone mocked him. Great stuff. When they went to Mexico City for that whole show in Mexico City was so good. You know, Hangman cutting a promo in Spanish and everything about that awesome. the ending to that spring breakthrough episode they did recently, where Samoa Joe and then finally won the trios belts. The trios titles are a meaningless title that no one cares about, but for like that one night, it felt like that was the greatest thing they could have done. Awesome.
I really also I want to just add, like, Mercedes coming was huge.
Yeah, that was huge.
And that one episode of Dynamite, we got Ryan to watch, and the Bucks lost the title that night. Like, that was huge because they rarely ever feels like they rarely ever exchange titles on like a Wednesday night show.
That was weird,
and
because that should have been something huge, and then it was huge in the moment, and then it just completely disappeared.
And I think that's why it worked for me, at least. I think that was such a cool moment.
I wish they followed up with that more with Private Party, because they should have done something
I think that was like they still weren't sure how to follow up with that kind of story beat.
Yeah.
But it was cool.
They're
it was a
definitely
cool
better now.
Yeah.
But
it was a really cool moment. It was a
cool
huge,
moment to have on a Wednesday night show, and I'm so glad Ryan got to watch it.
Yeah,
he'll be back, guys. Anyone remembers Ryan? He'll be back for his once a year watching of wrestling,
right?
And you'll see how he feels about it this time. So that's coming up like sometime at the end of October, I believe.
Yeah,
usually around Halloween.
Yeah,
it's a treat. It's a treat.
And the only other one I want to mention is there's a ton, but Danielson versus Kenny Omega at the first Grand Slam, when Danielson just showed up. And then was just like, I want to fight Kenny Omega. And they're like, okay, it's in a stadium in New York. And they just that's all that was so cool.
That was a Dynamite?
Well, Danielson showing up was a pay-per-view, but the match was a Dynamite.
That's right. I know Rick assigned us homework, and he's like, what's your favorite?
Straying. We are straying from the clock.
But he's like, what's your favorite moments from 6 years of Dynamite? And I'm like, I can't remember.
But you can.
But now that you sit here, you do.
Now that you sit here and you talk about them, you remember them.
But no, it's like, I can't remember if it was a pay-per-view or a Dynamite, but there's been so many amazing moments on Dynamite. Like,
yeah. And
I was like,
even just the pandemic Dynamites were so good, like that whole series of them.
Well, I guess, and that's my homework I did. The pandemic Dynamites were so much fun and so needed, and just presented something that I think we needed.
It was just like, it was the only thing that you could like kind of look forward to sometimes. It was just like, it was going to be 2 hours of like just a good show. It was going to be fun.
Yeah.
It was going to be best friends in a parking lot in a fight, right? Like, it was going to be something cool.
Yeah.
It was Jon Moxley going to do something cool.
Right.
Jon Moxley and Sheeta. Sheeta.
They carried everyone through that.
Mm-hmm.
Those two carried everything through it. And thank you to both of them. Because it was a weird time, and AEW was so much fun to watch during then. That's the thing, like, AEW is so awesome, don't get me wrong now, but it was still brand new and this new weird thing. And then the pandemic happened, and they had to perform in a empty stadium or whatever, and they still made it fun, and it was awesome.
I remember when the COVID stuff happened, obviously that wrestling is not your first concern, but when everything got shut down, I remember I put it on Twitter at the time being like, oh, because AEW was really hot right before it. I remember Mox just won the title in like February, and it was a huge deal. And I remember, like, I put it on Twitter, I thought about it being like, oh man, they're so hot, and this is going to kill it, because part of the thing is like, the crowd is there and it's nuts. And like, I thought, oh, it's how are they going to do this? Like, WWE will be fine because they're WWE. They could do no shows for a year and like they're fine. But I'm like, is this going to kill it? Is this going to end it? And like, they did such a good job.
Yeah,
they were brand new. They were like a couple years old, not really established.
It was like they were like a year and a half old. I mean, that would have crushed most things. And
yeah, for sure.
That's my most favorite Dynamite memory, is that they got through the pandemic and crushed it.
And they were better through it. Like, by the time they got out of it, it was better. Like, they'd done better. It was pretty remarkable when you think about it now, that they could do that.
Yeah.
So I did my homework. My favorite Dynamite memory is that this very young wrestling company made it through a freaking global pandemic.
And there's that video they posted, like they aired at the end of it when they were like going to go back to touring, and it was like their video of all the Daily's Place shows. If you watch that now, like the fact that they did all that, Sting debuted, FTR debuted, Brody Lee debuted, like all of that stuff happened with no fans or very few fans. And I
was gonna say, didn't they also they filmed like a whole bunch of it in one go?
At the beginning, they did like the first month of it or so was, and then they started before they had Daily's Place. Like they were shooting it at like QT Marshall's wrestling school or something. Like it was in like some weird venue. And then once they secured Daily's Place, then they started doing, I think they did like the old Monday Night Raw thing where they taped 2 in a row and then air one. But yeah, that was awesome.
But do you also remember like they only had, of course, all the fellow wrestlers around the ring and guns.
The
gun kids were like some of the biggest, like rah, let's go. Yeah. Like
that was a genius idea to put the wrestlers who weren't wrestling in the crowd. That was a really great idea.
Well, and I think that helped the camaraderie early on in the company because like it was just it felt punk rock.
Yeah. I think
I
agree that they probably got all super close at that point because they were all there, recording 8 hours of TV or something at once and just like hunkered down and probably only seeing really each other.
And they were brand new. They're like, shit, we have to go.
We have to, no pun intended. We have to go all out with this, or we might die. This might die.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
and they did. Everyone rallied around, and they did. Like,
yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah. So that's my 6-year anniversary.
Good addition to the conversation. That was really cool.
Yay! I didn't do any homework.
Any other 6-year Dynamite stuff before we go talk on our last couple topics? Anything?
It wasn't. All right. It wasn't a Dynamite, but remember when they tried to do the exploding death match?
I think that match was good. The match was actually good.
It was great. And then Eddie came in. It was dramatic.
The storyline was great. It was so good. And then they just
great.
Yeah.
And he came in and like shielded Mox and saved him. And then
it was so good. And then nothing happened. Yeah. And then like the worst possible explosion.
It was so funny.
But they covered for that. I remember the next night they were just like, "Oh, Kenny was just like, oh, I hired some bad people," and Mox was Eddie was just like, "Oh, I had PTSD, so even the idea of an explosion made me pass out." And like they covered for it. Like they made it seem okay.
I know, but it was so funny.
It was so funny. Eddie Kingston rules. I still need
Eddie Kingston.
I still need an Eddie Kingston Mox feud. We're not going to do one. I don't think that they have to do this.
Well, Renee yelled at them both. Like, I need that. I need more of that.
Yeah. Well, last couple topics, and it's good that you both are here because the last 2 topics are women's wrestling related. They announced women's tag team titles, which
let's go.
It's really
kind of should have happened a while ago.
It's way overdue, way past due, but at least they're there.
And so I was looking up possible teams. There's a lot. Anna Jay and Ty Mello, who I don't like that the team is called Tay J because they pronounce her name Ty. Why is it now Tay J? It annoys me. Athena and Billy Starks, possibly Deanna Perrazzo and Taya Valkyrie. I never know how to say her name.
Valkyrie.
There you go. Julia Hart and Sky Blue, Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford, Toni Storm, and a couple options, either Mina or Thunder Rosa or even Alex Windsor.
I would love her with Mina. It's got to be Mina.
And then Mercedes this week hinted that she wanted a partner, and Harley came back with the puppet, which I love the puppet.
I love the puppet.
I think is the greatest.
I think they should push that because the other company has been really pushing the puppet thing, and the little demon, and so I really think like Harley needs to do a lot more.
Harley is hilarious. Harley is amazing.
She's the greatest.
when she first started showing up, I was like, who is this person and what is she doing? And now she's everything she does is funny.
Oh my gosh, she's like almost like cartoonishly funny, like a cartoon character, and I love
she showed up this week, and previous week she'd been wearing like a cat for Chris Statlander. She'd been wearing like cat makeup when she's hanging out with Chris Statlander, and she showed up this week with the puppet and doing the puppet. And Mercedes goes, "What are you doing here? Why are you back with this puppet? I thought you were a cat now." And she goes, "I can't wear cat makeup and have a puppet." And it was just the way she delivered it was just like, she's like, of course I can't wear cat makeup when I'm holding a puppet.
I mean, she's like a cartoon character. I love it. And like she'll start singing. I mean, it's great. I think
she's
so
the way
talented.
even the way she pops in on camera when someone is interviewing, and she just like, "Hey," and she just like jumps in. She's the greatest. I love her.
She's great.
I hope she's in. I hope her and Mercedes are a team. I hope they're like the wacky tag team.
They'd be like so functional.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Yes.
Where they kind of hate each other, but Mercedes kind of grows to like her because she's just so lovable. Like it would be great. I hope that happens.
It's a great trope, and I think it fits them perfectly.
It does. It really does. And then Willow and someone. Stat maybe. Chris Statlander. Could they reunite Willow and Stat? That would be fun. So who would you like to see? That's the question for this. Who would you like to see as the first women's tag team champions?
I would like to see Julia, just because I like Julia. But also
Julian Sky.
But I also always feel like, Mercedes needs another belt.
I'm thinking it might be Mercedes and Harley. They're like the unlikely option. And that's how Mercedes gets her 10th belt.
Yeah.
She has to count on Harley.
That would be Harley's first belt too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That would be fun. And like Mercedes is kind of disgusted that she needs Harley to win this title, but she's like, fine. If I want to win a 10th belt, I'll team up with you. And
it's kind of like a cartoon trope of like a crotchety like old cat and like a little happy like
that
old
Simpsons
retriever
episode
dog.
when they team up and Nelson is walking and he's partners with Martin.
Yes.
And Nelson's walking and Martin's skipping around going, Nelson and his friend Martin. Just like jumping around. It reminds me of that. And Nelson's just like, oh.
Or like Space Ghost when he says to Brack and he's like, I like you. And Brack goes, I like you. And then Zorak goes, well, quit it.
I don't know that reference.
Space Ghost. Great. Come on.
But yeah, I hope it's Mercedes and Harley. That's my pick. Anyone else have another pick? Biddy, who do you pick? Jay picked.
No, I'm pretty down with Mercedes and Harley. That'd be a lot of fun. There's so much you could do with that.
Yeah, and her even like this week, she kind of took a minor shot at WWE, where she's just like, "Well, I know a thing about women and women's tag team champion." I thought that was kind of fun. I enjoyed that.
That's right. She and Bailey were the first tag team champions at WrestleMania.
And her and Naomi were the ones who they dropped him on Vince's desk and walked out.
That's right.
Oh, see, I don't know any of that, but that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bailey and when she was Sasha, they won it at WrestleMania the one year, the first when they unveiled the tag teams for the women. And then I forgot about her and Naomi, just said, screw this, and they left.
Yeah. So yeah, I hope it's her and Harley.
That's the fun thing about me. I have no idea about anything WWE from like 2000.
See, the thing is, I like the way Mercedes dropped that. I make fun of the Bucks for this, but they haven't done it in a while. I like the Bucks now; they're funny. But I hate when people drop references that you have to know the reference in order to enjoy what they're talking about, because you might not, right? Like you may have not watched WWE with that. Like Mercedes dropping that in. If you don't know anything about that, all you know is she had a women's tag team title once, and that's all you have to know. You don't need to know anything else, right? But if you do know more, then it's interesting.
I'm not bothered by that, actually. Like, that's cool. It gets, I'm not bothered that I don't pick up on all that stuff.
No, I don't mind that I don't pick up on it. I don't like when it's the main part of the story, but they don't explain it to you on TV because it didn't happen there. Like I feel
because like the Bucks often did that when you if you didn't watch like all 600 episodes of Being the Elite, you have
no idea. Yeah,
joke. They center something around like one little reference to an episode, and you have no clue what it is.
And I get that that's fun for people who know the reference. Like that, I totally understand that, but it shouldn't be it should be like a little bonus thing. Like if you get the reference, it adds more to it, but it still makes sense if you don't get the reference.
Exactly. Well, again, and that's kind of like the growth of AEW to watch that is that they're understand. They're going from being like these nerds that had all this stuff on YouTube and stuff to being like, oh no, we have a bigger audience.
Yeah, and now when they air like a promo on YouTube or X or Instagram or something,
don't ever call it X again.
I feel bad saying that. I shouldn't have said that. It's Twitter. I'm sorry. I apologize. When they air one of those promos online, they used to just air it online and it would set up a match on the show. But if you didn't watch Instagram, you had no idea.
You had no idea. Right.
But now they put the promo on Dynamite too.
Right.
Which is what they should be doing. And like, Glasgow's not here to say that that's what they should not what they should be doing. So,
but yeah, like
they have grown as a company.
They've learned. I mean, they were all like hardcore internet nerds and indie, and they've definitely made big strides in learning that doesn't work when you're on like national cable and worldwide and stuff, like,
and you can still allude to it, but you have to make sure that the people who don't watch it can still follow along in some way. So last thing, well, we're here, another women's topic. Women's Blood and Guts coming up in November, I believe. It's from Greensboro, South Carolina, which is a cool place to have it because that's kind of like a WCW old NWA area. So that's pretty cool. The heel team seems pretty set. More than likely, unless something happens, Julia Hart, Sky Blue, Tekla, which is the Triangle of Madness, which is an awful name for a faction, but a cool faction, terrible name. And then Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne. That seems pretty set is what the heel team is going to be.
And that's a hell of a team.
Oh, yeah, they're all awesome. Like, I love that they've been building this up.
Yeah.
The problem I have with, like, always having to have one Blood and Guts match a year, it's the same in WWE where they have to have, one Survivor Series match or whatever, like one Money, one Hell in a Cell. Like, you kind of force the stipulation into the story because you have to have it, so you do it. I like how they've been building this up like for a long time now with the women, kind of organically. Like, you could see Blood and Guts coming, but like, they didn't force it into it.
Extremely organic.
They've done a very good job making them all hate each other, establishing why they hate each other, building up a feud, and then the only way to settle that feud is Blood and Guts, which they've done a great job of that. The face team is hard to guess. Jamie Hayter, Queen Eminata, probably for sure. But then who are the others? Who do we think? Need 3 more. All right. Good.
Hold on.
They've teamed up with a few people. They've teamed up with Anna Jay and Ty Mello a little bit. So they're options. They've teamed up with Willow a little bit.
I'm gonna guess Willow.
Willow for sure.
Yeah.
Willow's
I think Willow wants to do it. I think she's been in so many of those like hardcore street fight matches in AEW that she kind of deserves to be in this one for sure.
I think Harley will be with Mercedes, so she's out. But who else was in that pre-match that we saw?
Mina was in that.
Mina, oh yeah, Mina
could be in it.
Be in there.
She wasn't in that match, but Alex Windsor could be in this. She's been not really involved, kind of. Tony, can't count out Tony. I feel like they could put Tony in here.
I think I could see Tony being in that.
Tony'd be a fun like wild card like last edition.
Yeah,
she's really just out.
Oh,
there.
That would be fun if they only had 4, and then like the week before they were like,
and then like here's Tony.
Yeah, that would be fun.
And she's just off her rocker,
just like twisting her head with like smeared makeup. That would be fun. I would like to see that. I
definitely could see Tony in there.
And I do want. I keep mentioning this. I want Willow and Stat. I want them to be like an uneasy team that they both hate these people and they both have to be in it. And they're like, fine, we have to count on each other. And then they become friends again. Cause I love Willow. They're both good. And I want them on the same side again.
Screw Stokely.
Screw Stokely for breaking them up.
Fucking Stokely.
And while we're on Stokely, we haven't talked about it all out.
Oh,
Beth Copeland, Beth Not Phoenix is back. Possibly. I know Adam is off filming something, so he's the internet is so stupid. This is my end of the show rant. The internet is so stupid.
Here we go.
Adam Copeland did the thing on Dynamite last week where he was just like to Christian, "Oh, this is involving my family. I'd have to take some time away. This is too much for me." And the internet was immediately, "He's going to be John Cena's last opponent."
Oh God, I know.
Wrestlers have contracts. Do you not understand how this works? Like,
just because someone's going to be gone. It was kind of like when Kenny was like, oh, like they killed off Kenny or something, and then he was just like at a Street Fighter tournament, and I was like, oh, the internet ruins everything.
Yeah, just hanging out in Japan, like what?
Yeah. Like, it just like, why? What made you think that he's gonna he just got what he wanted, reuniting with Christian? His wife just showed up for the company. You think he's just gonna turn and wrestle John Cena because that's what you want? No, that's not like, oh, he did his little thing for John Cena at All Out, and it was nice and whatever. But like, he's
bless their sweethearts.
What made people think stupid people? Anyway, sorry. One last thing I wanted to say, because I just read about it on Blue Sky. I forget who said it, but I don't know if either of you saw the Andrade debut where the lights went out and they went back on and he was there in a mask and he took off his mask and attacked Kenny Omega. Very cool debut. He didn't get a real good debut the first time because he debuted during the pandemic with Vicky Guerrero and it wasn't that good. So him getting a cool debut this time was awesome. But what someone said, which I actually watched Dynamite late, so the Andrade thing was spoiled. I read about it before I saw it, so I knew it was happening. I was annoyed at that. But anyway, someone said when the lights went out and someone showed up behind Kenny Omega, their heart stopped because they were like, oh no, it's Jericho. And then it wasn't. And it wasn't. So they were very happy that it wasn't. I think that's our last thing. He didn't show up at All Out. I was terrified he was going to show up at All Out. Terrified. Absolutely terrified. I was ready to blow Biddy's eardrums off by booing.
Oh God, I love that's where we've come. Like people are like, oh God, oh no, could it be Jericho?
Oh, thank God I was mini beers in.
But he didn't show up at All Out. And is that kind of like Britt not showing up in Pittsburgh? If he's not going to show up for the pay-per-view in Canada.
Yeah.
He's not coming back.
Let's hope.
He's going back. He's gonna make that money going back to WWE.
Oh yeah.
He'll be
and
back.
Good for him. Like he's he's worn out his welcome in AEW. He doesn't really fit in anymore. He was necessary, like Britt. He was super important to AEW. Yeah. More important than pretty much anyone. At the beginning.
He did his job.
Chris got a lot of people over. He really did, because AEW pulled a lot of people that nobody knew who they were if they were just a regular WWE watcher. Right. But they knew Jericho, so like, oh, okay. And Jericho got so many people over. Like he really did.
When AEW started, you knew maybe Cody, Jericho, and then Mox showed up. So maybe you knew them, but that's it, right? Like if you didn't know, if you didn't watch New Japan or the Indies or ROH, you had no idea who these people were, and it was important. But like. I'm pretty sure I read something that like the only reason they got a TV deal was because of Jericho.
That makes sense.
I totally believe that for sure.
Yeah, but which is why they made them the first. Jericho was very important, and he did some really awesome things in AEW.
Yeah,
but like he's worn out his stay in AEW. That's the point. That's the good part of two companies, is that when you wear out your stay in one, there's another one that you can go
to.
And I mean, he really does deserve it. And to go back to WWE and have his whole the countdown thing and get to be Chris Jericho, WB Chris Jericho again at at the Royal Rumble or something, and have like a run where he is Y2J and do a whole thing. And then go in the Hall of Fame. Like he does deserve that.
And that's fair.
And he's like, AEW honestly hasn't missed him. No offense, but they haven't.
Well, and that's the thing. He can go do all that and then come back in a couple years to AEW, and he'll be beloved. Like he'll get.
Yeah, that's the thing with there being two companies. I know a lot of people who are younger haven't lived in a time where there's more than one major wrestling company, and I totally understand that. But I saw a lot of people online like, Andrade switched again. I guess he can't hold down a job. I'm like, if you're a wrestler who, as soon as you're available, the other company wants to hire you, you're doing fine, right? Yeah. Like if you, and that's why it's good, because Andrade wore it as welcome. Didn't fit in one show, and he didn't wear it as welcome. But didn't fit in one place. Wasn't happy in one place. Go to the other place. Not happy there. Go back again. Like almost everyone would be welcome in both companies.
Yeah, right.
If they had an opportunity. So it's good. That's the thing that 6 years of Dynamite should have taught us. Like having another company is so good.
That is healthy competition.
Mm-hmm.
All these jags are like, oh, I'm such a capitalist. This is capitalism, baby.
Right. Yeah.
It's
It's great.
this is the good part of capitalism. Enjoy
Yeah.
it.
More wrestling.
We're all better for it.
So I'm happy. Anyone else have anything else to say?
I gotta pee.
Well, there you go. On that note, follow us everywhere. We're at Elite City Pod and everything. Thanks for listening. Like, share, subscribe, hit the ding thing if you're listening on YouTube. Leave a comment. That helps. Anything you can do, that would be much appreciated. Hopefully we're back to doing stuff regularly again. So.
It's our bedtime right now, so we're gonna go.
Yes. Thank you so much, and we'll be back again soon. Later.